Standard 7 English Lesson 2.2 The Souvenir. With the tip of her nose pressed to the window of the space shuttle, Sally sat gazing at the view outside for a long. Still, she did not seem to be contented. She had read the description of this view several times before and had seen this scene on the video too. But this was different. Reading the description was one thing, watching the picture and the video captured by the camera was another. But getting an opportunity to view that amazing panorama with your own eyes, being presented physically right in the midst of it, was indeed an out of the world experience. No matter how long she sat gazing, her awe and wonder did not seem to be abated. The earth gradually appeared to get smaller and smaller in the sky. The azure blue sky was now looking jet black. The clouds had disappeared, the stars were shining bright. This trip to the moon was exorbitantly expensive, but still Sally's mother had sent her on the trip. In our childhood, we could not even think of such a long distance trip. The longest trip meant going to Europe. If you are getting this opportunity, make the most of it, said Mummy. Oh, Mummy, Neha's grandmother was saying that in their childhood, the longest trip for school children used to be only up to Delhi or Kolkata. It seems so funny, isn't it? Said Sally, laughing. Remembering the incident made her laugh even now. Now the shuttle was getting closer and closer to the moon. Then it started orbiting the moon. In every 32 minutes, the shuttle completed one revolution around the moon. Light and darkness followed each other in quick sessions. The dome-shaped settlement of the moon, which resembled the igloos of the Eskimos, were now visible. After some time, Sally's shuttle made a slow, measured, and safe landing on the moon. The door of the shuttle was opened and the children were escorted through an airtight tunnel to the settlement at the Neil Armstrong base. The receptionist at the entrance to the base gave some instruction at the very outset. I welcome you all to the Neil Armstrong base to make your stay on the moon pleasant and comfortable. I would like you to take certain precautions. Listen carefully to my instructions and please follow them during your stay. You know that the gravitational force of moon is 1/6 that of the earth. In the human settlement on the moon, a gravitational force equivalent to that of the earth has been artificially mentioned, but outside those settlements, the gravitational force of the moon is at work. You will have to be extremely careful when you roam around there. The second point to remember is related to shopping on the moon. You all must be interested in carrying souvenirs back home from the moon. Please buy the articles only from the shop which are inside the dome-shaped settlement. There you will be assured of genuine articles. Do not buy anything from unauthorized shops outside the settlement. I wish you a very happy and pleasant stay on the moon. A jam-packed 3 days program awaited the children on the moon. According to the Earth calculation, a moon there were 15 days of daylight and 15 days of nighttime. The 3 days of the trip were going to be part of nighttime on the moon. One of the most important program of the first day was sky watch on the earth. It was usually foggy and the stars were seen rarely and only very faintly. There were no atmosphere on the moon. On the dark background of the moon sky, the stars shone dazzling bright. Most attractive view was that of the disk of the earth. In the moon sky, the earth looked 13 times bigger than the moon in the earth sky. It was also 70 times brighter. The earth light fell on the moon. This beautiful, enchanting view made Siley and her friends ecstatic. They fell asleep feeling happy, excited, and comfortable at the same time. The second day's attraction was the circus on the moon. One unique feature of the circus was the sitting arrangement. The spectators were made to sit in the tent and the circus was going on outside. High jump, long jump were the special attraction. On the gymnast jump 27-meter high. On both the days, beside the main attraction, much time was reserved for visiting the various settlements there. It was expected that the students should spend some time for self-study. The teacher had assigned them a task on writing an essay on how they spent their time on the moon, which places they visited, what they observed, etc. Siley and her friend had travelled far and wide and had done a lot of sightseeing. On the third day, their teacher took them to a place of historical importance. 100 years ago, Neil Armstrong had landed at this place. Everyone was looking forward to visit this place, to the historical monument. It was the oldest place in the history of a man on the moon. The first footprint of Neil Armstrong was preserved on the moon land. Beside the footprint was a grand statue of Armstrong. At the base of the statue were carved the words uttered by the human on the moon. One small step for a man, one giant leap of mankind. They were going to roam outside, experiencing the gravitational force of the moon. Be careful when you walk, dear children. Do not jump over. But who was in mood to listen? They hopped, jumped, and ran around. Buy ornaments special made from the stones on the moon, very cheaper than those available in the shop in the settlement. Cheaper and better, at least have a look. The roadside shopkeeper screamed at the top of their voice, "Buy, sister, buy. I am selling these earrings really cheap." Saying this, he approached Siley and displayed the sets of shining stones earring. Siley suddenly remembered her mother. Tomorrow they were to start. She had completely forgotten her mother. In the last 3 days she felt terribly guilty. "Buy this, sister, don't think much. Cheaper and better. Take it." Siley looked around. Other children had proceeded ahead. "Come on, give me those red earrings. Quick!" Siley pointed at them and asked, "What's the price?" "Only 1,000 rupees," replied the salesman. Siley immediately paid the amount, took the earring and ran to catch up with her friends. On returning home, Siley told her mother very enthusiastically, "Mummy, look what I have bought for you." Her mother picked up the earring. She exclaimed, "Hello, dear, how am I going to wear such a heavy earrings?" Siley immediately realized her mistake. Siley had purchased the earrings in the field of moon's gravity.